Hello, I'm Vonda High and welcome to Joyful Weddings. Today we're going to talk about how to choose a videographer for your wedding. Videos can be done in three basic ways. You can hire a professional videographer to come in and shoot your whole day or parts of it.
Promise to be true to you.
In good times and in bad.
In good times and in bad.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
I will love you and honor you.
I will love you and honor you.
All the days of my life.
All the days of my life.
Or you can ask a friend or family member to take your camera and videotape the important elements of the day. Or you can ask all your friends to send their videos that they took on their camera, their phones, and send that to you, and you can string them all together. So there are several ways to accomplish the documentation of your day. A professional videographer, very much like a photographer, is going to have different packages. And their packages and their costs are going to be based on how many hours they're shooting and how much editing has to be done to the tapes. And usually they present you with either a link, because now things are all done by links, or they send you a disc that has menu options and you can look at the whole day with raw footage, or you can see the ceremony, the cocktail hour, dinner and dancing, toasts. Sometimes the ceremony is shown as a full entity. Sometimes it's edited, depending upon what you ask of your videographer.
And I won't hesitate to give my life for you.
Catherine, take this ring as a sign of my love and fidelity in the name of the Father.
Your videographer can be hired also for very often different hours. You can hire them to come in and just tape the ceremony and then they leave. You can hire them for 5 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, depending upon the packages that they present. And sometimes people just want the raw footage of the ceremony and their toasts, and that's all they want, and they'll play with it themselves. Sometimes people want little mini movies, and they hire the videographer basically to do a mini movie of their day, and you'll start with hair and makeup and all that kind of personal interaction, the getting into limos, walking down the aisle, the whole ceremony. You'll have people talking to the camera, like sometimes your maid of honor will come in and do a little thing to the camera and that's edited in. Sometimes you can have special effects, like maybe you'll have, during the ceremony, you'll have pictures of your hands and the rings as a close-up that kind of fades in and out. You can also do drones. You can do some amazing drone shots. So there are special effects that can be added in as well. The cost of your video has a lot to do with the amount of editing that the professional videographer is going to do. Editing in an editing studio is very expensive. And sometimes they can edit together. They can look at all the raw footage and do pretty clean edits and send that to you. Sometimes they're also compiling a story where maybe they'll start off with everyone getting ready or getting into the limos. They'll go to the toast of the best man and then go back to some ceremonial vows. They can edit together in a movie format and then lay music underneath it.
Tom Aaron was introduced to Rob, who clearly was very quickly smitten, and vice versa, except for one small catch. Rob completely forgot Tom's name within about 20 minutes.
You can also have a professional videographer there with a camera, and he can just shoot everything, give you the raw footage, and you can do with it as you want. So there's many ways to approach this. You're choosing. It's also very feasible to talk to a cousin or a friend who's not in the bridal party and say that you'd really appreciate it if they could tape the different elements of the wedding. And the pieces that are really important to get are obviously the ceremony. You want your introductions, your first dance, parent dances if you have them, and any toasts. Those are the pieces that are the most important to capture. Everything else is just fun, but you want to hear those toasts.
To better describe it, the reason I love you is every time I see your face, I automatically smile.
A couple of points to remember. If you do hire a professional videographer, ask them about the equipment that they use. What kind of lights do they need and how do they get the sound? If you have a videographer who just uses their camera, then that's easy. If you have a videographer that has a light on the camera, you want to understand how bright that light is, because if they come through during dancing and everything's dark and romantic, but they've got a big spotlight on their camera, it can be a bit jarring. Some videographers also, because they are more cinematographers and are creating more of a movie, they actually will bring in lights for the room and set them up on big tripods and actually light the room. And that can be wonderful for the video and give beautiful quality to the video, but it can be it can impact the design and look of the evening. So it's a good idea to know that. Also, some videographers are just taping with a microphone on their cameras, and so you're getting the live sound, which means you're hearing everything around you, from the music to all the toasts and the talking and the background noise, and that can be wonderful. It can also, though, make it hard to sometimes hear what you're actually trying to capture. During the ceremony, sometimes professional videographers will mic the groom, because there's normally not a place to put a microphone on the bride. So they'll put a battery pack and a little lapel clip on the groom, and that allows them to capture the ceremony and the vows and what is being said in a very with good quality, and that's nice. Sometimes for toasts, they will want to also mic the person giving a toast, or if you have a band that has a sound engineer or a soundboard, they can actually plug into the soundboard and record right off of the microphone that the person is using for their toast. If you do have a friend who's taping for you, they probably don't have a professional mic attached to their camera. So keep that in mind, as you might want to make sure that they're close enough while they're taping the toast so that the words will be heard without a lot of background noise or echo. Also, as of course in any contract, if you hire a professional videographer, make sure you understand when they're arriving, when they're leaving, and then correspond, because if you hire them for 5 hours, but you want them to get some pre-ceremony stuff, remember then that they'll probably leave before the end of your reception, which can be fine, but you want to make sure they're there for the cake cutting and the final toast. You don't want to miss that part. So just cross-reference your contracts with the flow of the day so that you get everything, and make sure you know when you're supposed to pay them and when they're going to give you the final product. If there is a video with a lot of editing, it can sometimes take quite a few months to actually complete the final editing. If they're just giving you raw footage, then that's easy. They can potentially download it in a day and send you a link to the footage. But if they're putting together a little mini movie, you might need to wait 6 months or longer before you see the final piece. Anyway, just something you need to know so that you understand what you're getting and you're not disappointed. Managing expectations is always important.
I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to be your partner, and I'm going to be your best friend. You're my home. I love you.
So thank you for joining us today. We hope you learned about how to hire a videographer. Please follow us on social media, and we will see you next time.